Morning gentlemen, this is the last fence, final exercise, part 4. Today is Tuesday the 30th of September 2025. Okay, myself today, Ryan will be the PPO, my call sign is Bravo. Zach will be the 2IC, his call sign is Zulu. We are presently at Charlie 0, this is a secure location. Charlie 1, the old brewery, is also considered a safe location. Aside from that, nothing else can be considered secure or searched. Okay, as you can see on the screen, we've got all our call signs, our seating plans for today. We should all be well aware of each other's call signs by now. We've been doing this long enough. If you could all have a look through where you're seating and which vehicles, make sure you're happy with that. Okay, prelims. The map folds there will be 9, 8 and 13. Order of map folds will be 13 to 9 and then to 8. Okay, order march and the SAP ahead of the main body. The main body, the Honda wagon and the Vauxhall Signia. The weather today is looking quite good. 10 to 17 degrees. Highly unlikely to impact today's operation. There's potential for rain, but we will be carrying an umbrella in the back of the vehicle. Okay, the principal, Mr. McCarthy, call sign Gold. Mr. McCarthy, Gold, is the principal, with his company CEO being the client. Gold is 6'1" with no health issues. Gold is currently residing in Bishop Auckland area. The client does have a concern for Gold's welfare at this present and has placed his company's close protection team at Gold's disposal. Okay, the threat. Threat for this operation is assessed as low. Gold desires a low profile protection. This could change of course, be uprated at any time. Whilst everyone should be alert, the whole team to change in risk or task. Decisions to change, the posture lies with the PPO, myself and Zach. Okay, situation tasking. Gold wishes to visit a number of locations today. Charlie 1, which is this location. C1, the Charlie 1, which is the old brewery in Castle Eden. Charlie 2, the T-Barn in Durham. And Charlie 3, M&S at Arneson Centre. He'll be collected from C1, which is the old brewery, a safe location. That will be a high profile. Visit C2, Charlie 2, the T-Barn, which will be low profile. And then on to visit Charlie 3 at the M&S for some shopping. And then he'll be returning to Charlie 1. That'll be Charlie 1 to Charlie 2, Charlie 3 to Charlie 1. But please, let's remain flexible on that. Situation in ground. Okay, Zach, do you want to come up with a quick briefing on that?
So today we'll be travelling from the old brewery, Charlie 1, which is at this location. We'll be travelling along the Alpha 181 until we get to Durham. Along the way we'll be covering the spots green 3, green 6, pink 3-5, pink 1-6, pink 4, pink 3, pink 2-3, pink 2-4, pink 2-2, pink 18 and pink 28. We're then going through Durham City Centre to reach blue 2-2, which is the last spot before reaching the T-Barn, Charlie 2. Yeah, the weather's looking clear with no rain. Gold's requested when after he's had his lunch, he'd like to go to the Arneson Centre, M&S, which is Charlie 3, which is only a few miles away. Then after that it'll be the same route back to the old brewery, Charlie 1, effectively the same route. Yeah, and just a reminder to make sure you've got all the correct equipment in the cars, like the battery starter, jump leads, spare tyres, spare tyre, fire extinguishers, umbrella just in case, and then make sure all the vehicles are being checked properly. Is that right?
Cheers, mate. So. Okay, mission. To provide executive protection for Gold for the duration of the task. Again, the mission is to provide executive protection for Gold for the duration of this task. Be prepared to react to changing demands and locations as requested by Gold. This is highly likely to be low profile, so less action at Charlie 1. Okay, the execution. There are 6 phases of this operation. Phase 0, which is going to be the orders, the comms, checks and rehearsals that we're going to do. Phase 1 is a road move from Charlie 0 to Charlie 1. That will be a high profile M-bus. Phase 2 will be a road move from Charlie 1 to Charlie 2. That's where we will have gold. Phase 3 will be a D-bus and a Foxtrot in the vicinity of Charlie 2 with gold. Phase 4, M-bus and road move from Charlie 2 to Charlie 3 with gold. And Phase 5 will be D-bus and Foxtrot in the vicinity of Charlie 3 with gold. Phase 6 is going to be the M-bus and the road move from Charlie 3 to Charlie 1, where we'll finish with a high profile D-bus with gold. Recovery phase is going to be the road move from Charlie 1 to Charlie 0. The execution. Okay, the phase 1 is going to be our orders, comms, and like I said, rehearsals. The orders we're doing now, rehearsals we'll do when we go down, immediately after the orders, and we've all checked our comms and we'll check them again once we go down, okay? Timings, no move before 8:50. We're cutting close that time, so we're going to have to be on our toes when we get down there and check everything. Security advance team will move straight after these comms checks, okay? Does anybody have any questions with that? Okay, the phase 1 operation, road move from Charlie 0 to Charlie 1 and collection of gold. The road move from Charlie 0 to Charlie 1, which is going to be the old brewery, will be taking the route of the A19. The SAP will be deployed in advance and will cover the approved route to clear that Charlie 1 is clear. M-bus will be high profile, PP myself, PPO, sorry, will face down with gold to check the itinerary last minute changes and confirm any distress signals. The actions on any minor casualties will assess, communicate and triage. First aid, standby for a decision. If we have to call 911, that's the last resort. Okay, vehicle breakdowns will stop, assess, obviously we'll change over where we need to change over. Attack, like I said, we'll ring 999. Phase 2, road move from Charlie 1 to Charlie 2. That'll be from the old brewery to the T-barn, route as explained by 2IC. The SAP will secure primary and secondary options. D-bus will be low profile with primary and secondary options available, sought by the SAP. Gold will then move with PPO myself to Charlie 2. 2IC will control vehicle movements. Actions on, no change. Okay, so this is a bird's eye view of Pitney T-barn. If you can see, this is where the SAP will be securing our parking. And then obviously that's the exit coming out of the T-barn, the way we'll be exiting to go into Charlie 3. Phase 3 will be Foxtrot in the vicinity of Charlie 2 with gold. Gold, myself and Danny M will Foxtrot and move directly to Charlie 2. We'll comms back to Charlie 2, 2IC, most likely using WhatsApp if our earpieces are removed. 2IC will move the vehicles to the layup point and remain on 30-second standby with the principal's vehicle. Actions on, no change. Okay, again, this is the T-barn. This is where we have the entrance. The side we're likely to be sat inside here. We'll enter the building, this side here. We're likely to be sat in this left-hand corner, and that will be our view, looking to where we've just entered the building. If you have a look at the diagram there, you'll see where we're going to be sitting and where we should be entering and exiting the building. Is everyone happy with that?
Is it? Yeah.
Okay, phase 4 is going to be M-bus and road move. Charlie 2 to Charlie 3 with gold. SAP will be released, approved route and ID the D-bus location at Charlie 3. Gold, myself and Zach will M-bus and road move Charlie 2 to Charlie 3, which will be an M&S. Actions on, no change. Phase 5 with a D-bus and Foxtrot in the vicinity of Charlie 3 with gold. Gold, myself will D-bus for gold for light shopping. 2IC will control the vehicle movements and the principal vehicle on a 30-second standby. Actions on will be no change. Phase 3 will be the M-bus and the road move from Charlie 3 to Charlie 1 with gold. Once gold has indicated he wishes to leave, there will be a low profile M-bus with gold. SAP team will move ahead to secure route for Charlie 1. approved Charlie 1 clear and D-bus. The route will be the A19 south. Gold D-bus and secure at Charlie 1, and actions on, there will be no change there. Okay, the recovery phase. This will be road route from Charlie 1 to Charlie 0. All call signs are recovered to Charlie 0. Please be prepared to final prepared vehicles, update threats reports, complete any accident or injury forms, and put the radios on charge. Coordinated instructions, timings. Rehearsal will be immediately after this. We won't be moving before 9 o'clock. The SAP team will be moving straight after this, and we'll be stepping off hopefully just before 9 o'clock. We'll collect gold at 9:30. Meals, we'll get them out and as and when we can get them. Does anybody have any questions on any of that? Okay, the commanding signals. The overall command with this is going to be myself, Bravo. Succession of command is going to be 2 IC, which is Zach, Zulu, and subsequently the principal vehicles, which is Alan, he is call sign X-ray. The signals will be used on radios on channel 1, covert, Vit for all. Alternative, we'll be going to WhatsApp if anything happens with the radios, the mics, or we're in the vicinity of too many people and don't wish to use the earpieces. Continuously, the face-to-face will through the ERV and return to the safe locks. The emergency will go through the 999 if there's a threat to life. Again, the command and signals, the call signs, the principal is gold. The Mona Lisa, which divides the AO in the west and the east, that creates with medical facilities to provide to and which safe havens are online. Signals from gold to be discussed. Okay, does anybody have any questions? No? Okay, we all know what she thinks. Is anyone unhappy or with anything left to say to that? Or anything you'd like to add? Right, thank you very much, guys.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Welcome to the final exercise, part 3, orders. Before we start the orders, just a few preliminary points to make everybody aware of. Where you're sat now is obviously relative to what vehicle you should be sat in. Also, the aids I'm going to be using throughout, I'll be using PowerPoint. Okay, if my laser pointer fails on the PowerPoint, then I've got this stick here which I'll point out details on the screen there. Okay, if you require a copy of the detailed printout, they'll be available downstairs directly after the set of orders. Okay. Right, the purpose of these orders is to inform team members of the intent and how we are to achieve it. Each team member must fully understand one another's responsibilities in order to minimize the impact should a team member become incapacitated. Right, team members must be prepared to cover any role at any point during the task. Is that clear? All right, focus in on your areas of responsibilities that I'll give you. However, you must have a broader and wider understanding of everybody else's role, because at any point you may be called upon, right, to fulfill your counterpart's role. Okay, where you sat. Okay, principal car, backing car, and SAP team. All right, the call signs. We've been working together. Obviously, everybody's familiar with each other. We've been working together for the last 18 days. For this operation, I will be the principal protection officer. Okay, and then again for the back and car IC. Okay, that'll be will be Jake. Sorry, for the 2 IC, and then the SAP car will be Danny. Call signs as we've briefed on the warning order. Map details as per the warning order. You'll be using pages through 13, 14 and 15. The weather, it's being a dry day, visibility is to continue to be good, and the sunset will be at 18:45 hours. Okay, task org. It's going to be low profile executive protection pickup from Castle Eden in to facilitate an early evening visit to the restaurant at the Raby Arms in Hart, followed by a shopping trip to the Tees Retail Park with a likely return drop-off at the Castle Eden Inn. Okay, tasks as we've been taught and as we've previously rehearsed. What I'd like to point out is for the drivers, okay? Drivers common to all drivers, right? You are to stick within the legal speed limits and drive with a defensive mindset, right? Do not operate any telephones, radios, etc. Anything that could consider being a distraction while driving. Just focus on your job in hand, and that is just driving safely. As we've rehearsed and as we've discussed, all other rules, there's no change to any of the other rules. Ground in general. I'm going to ask the two IC to quickly come up and give a quick brief overview of the ground in general and the ground in detail.
Thanks, Alan. Okay, gents, so everyone's familiar with the ground in general, and I'll go into the ground in detail. So no change from where we've been operating for the past few weeks. You've got a combination, as it says at the top there, of rural areas where we'll be starting into wider urban areas, which is where we'll be going throughout this operation, okay? So as you can see on the left-hand side here, you've got the ground in general and the route. I'll go into the first location, which is Charlie 2. That's the Castle Eden Inn here. And from here, which will be the principal pickup point. As you can see from the board, you've got the Charlie 2 here. Essentially, from the route that we'll be taking, we'll go through it in rehearsals and it'll be marked on your map. We'll be coming in a southerly direction and we'll pick up the principal from Charlie 2. SAP will have already marked that route. We'll come in and we'll do either.
I'll go through that in detail, just go through the type of areas in terms of the ground in detail.
From there, we'll be taking the principal to Charlie 3, which is the Raby Arms, and that's where we'll be having his dinner. Essentially, as you look to the map there, we'll be coming down this route to Green 2-2 and hanging on the left, so that's the first option. Be aware, as you come off that left there, do not take the first option, because that leads clearly into a dead-end housing estate. It's the second option into the car park there, one entrance, one exit. Okay, I'm looking primarily at you, Zach, for that, so please don't take that, because clearly it'll be dark, all right? Happy with that, and that's what we'll be looking at, and that'll be the D-bus area. I'll let the principal come on, the PPO come on to that. And the third area of interest, which will be Charlie 4. This is Teesside Retail Park. After we've come off the Alpha 66 and we've come down into this area, we're going to be dropping off in the vicinity of Curry's. So I'll be calling this out for you, but it's a series of roundabouts as we come off into this location here. I'll be controlling that quite tightly, and SAP we're going to rehearse this. But essentially, as you come off the final roundabout, you'll be held up here, and we'll do a drop off there, dismount for and a D-bus for the principal to come in and come round. I'll then talk us on to exactly where he wants us for the M-bus, okay? And then I'll break this ground down in rehearsals, because clearly then we need to remain flexible to pick the principal up once he's completed with his task. Has anybody got any questions on the ground in detail or the ground in general?
Okay, cheers, thank you. Okay, so just a quick recap then. ADP, familiar to us all, that is Charlie 1, Charlie 2, Castle Eden Inn, Charlie 3, Raby Arms, Charlie 4, the retail park at Thornaby, Teesside Retail Park. Okay, a few questions, right? What's the location for Charlie 1? What does that refer to?
It's this location here. EDP.
Yeah, okay. Charlie 2.
So Castle Eden Inn, that's where we pick the principal up from.
And Charlie 3.
The Baby Arms.
Okay, and Charlie 4.
Teesside Retail Park.
Okay, great. Right, situation. The principal is Mr. McCarthy, call sign Gold, right? The CEO, right, has concerns about Mr. McCarthy's welfare and has encouraged him to take time off work to enjoy the local area. Mr. McCarthy's initial wish is to have a meal at the Raby Arms, followed by some light shopping at Teesside Retail Park. Right, threat level is assessed as low. You can see the crime ratings there for Castle Eden, Raby Arms and Teesside Park. For Castle Eden Inn and the Raby Arms, looking at the figures there, right, the relatively low figures for the area, okay, with the exception of Castle Eden Inn, where for violence and sexual offences it is spiked slightly. However, when we look at the crime rating for Teesside Retail Park, you can see the the figures for violence and sexual offences, shoplifting and antisocial behaviour are more than double in some cases of the other two areas. So the overall point of this takeaway is, yes, obviously we will remain vigilant throughout. However, as we move into that area, extra vigilance, right, okay, pertinent to those types of offences. Safe havens. All right, you'll get a print off of this. As we know, the Old Brewery, familiar to us as our offices, okay, that'll be within a mile of the Castle Eden Inn for the first pickup, right? We've got the Hartlepool Police Station, again, familiar to us on previous operations. Thistle Green Police Station, again, is familiar to us. And then the hospitals, okay, get that printed off. Oh, sorry, when you get to the bottom, pick that print up off so you have it at hand in case of emergency. Okay, mission, right, to conduct executive protection of gold in order to facilitate a secure environment for the duration of the task. Mission, to conduct executive protection of gold in order to facilitate a secure environment for the duration of the task. Execution, concept of ops. Intent. The 2 ups intent. The CEO's intent is to facilitate Mr. McCarthy to have a relaxing break from work. 1 up. Mr. McCarthy's intent is to enjoy the local area by means of having a meal out and visiting the local shopping centre. Is that clear?
Clear.
Right. 7 phases. First phase, we're in that first prelim phase right now. Okay, we're going to do admin, right? Finish off our admin. We're going to do a prelim move from our location, okay, to the Castle Eden Inn. Depending on times, if we're ahead of schedule, we'll use a LUP. If not, we'll go direct to the pickup point. Phase 1, right? Once the principal is in the vehicle, we'll start phase 1, and that's road move from Castle Eden Inn to the Raby Arms and the drop off. Once the principal has been dropped off and has crossed the point of no return, okay, we'll go into phase 2, and that'll be the meal at the Raby Arms. Phase 3, right, will be once the principal is secure back in the vehicle at the Raby Arms, we'll then road move to the Teesside Retail Park, and then a drop off in the vicinity of Curry's Digital. Once again, past the point no return, we'll move on to phase 4. Phase 4 will be a foot escort in the vicinity of Teesside Retail Park, initially focused in the Curry's Digital. That may change. Be prepared for that to change as the principal dictates. Phase 5, right? Once the phase 4 will be the pickup of the principal. Once we've got the principal secure back in the car, we'll move into phase 5, which will be the road move back from the retail park back to Castle Eden Inn. Okay, and then once the drop off's complete and the principal is secure back in the Castle Eden Inn, that'll be phase 5 complete. We'll then move into the recovery phase, where we will return to EDP, okay, to conduct the after action review and any administration. Any questions on the phases? Okay, phase 1, right, from Charlie 1 to Charlie 2, approximately 15 minutes, 6 mile, right? This is the admin move, admin prep and prelim move from EDP to the LUP, all right? So I say, do you want to go through the route?
I'm content if you are.
Yeah, happy,
Yeah.
right? Anybody we've done it before, obviously we're well familiar with the route down to, we'll be using the A19 southbound, okay, normal route that we took earlier on the day. Okay, order of march, SAP you will deploy as soon as possible after these the completion of these orders. Okay, and then obviously what you'll be looking for is just gain the atmospherics around the pickup point of the Castle Eden Inn. Okay, and look for the reserve the parking space outside the front of that area, which we'll come into. All right, I'll come into more detail later. Right, the actions on actions on the route on the route down there. If the principal's car breaks down, right, backing car, what's going to happen is you obviously stop with us, right? I will get out to the principal car and I'll occupy the backing car, right? 2IC, you will get in the principal car and wait for that principal car. Okay.
Happy.
We'll then continue, okay, to the LUP SAP. If you have at that point, if you've gone beyond if you've gone beyond the Castle Eden Inn, you then need to make your way back, because then you'll become the backing car. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
And then the foot patrol, foot call sign shown, you will then cross deck into the SAP car. Happy?
I'll do that.
Okay, that's actions on. That'll be the same actions on throughout. Okay, any lost comms, split call signs, then we will marry up. We'll continue on task. We can't be late. We'll continue on task until we get to Castle Eden, and we'll attempt to marry up. Okay, phase 1 proper then. Right, from Charlie 2 to Charlie 3, 10 minutes, approximately 5 miles. Do you want to go through the?
Yeah, absolutely. Right, guys, so this is once we've got gold, so clearly this is getting faces on. So from Charlie 2, from the Castle Eden Inn, we're essentially taking a local road and joining the Alpha 19 South. It's it's basically a T-junction onto an Alpha road there. So clearly drive for 2, looking again at Zach there for that. And what we'll do is we'll go through through green 1, green 5, and ground down to green 2-1. And then we'll move on the route there that says down to green 2-2, which is the roundabout. And again, it's the first option there. As soon as that's done, we won't take the first option left. It will be the second one into the Raby Arms. But that's the route for there. Any questions on that aspect of the route? No.
Okay, cheers. Okay, right. So what? This is the pickup. Right, obviously this is getting the principal secured in the car, right, before we move off to the Raby Arms. All right, myself, well, obviously debus from the principal car, and I'll just do introductions. Okay, confirm the itinerary. Just be alive to any changes to the itinerary or last minute changes. Okay, we're going for an orthodox pickup. You can see the markers on the schematic there, pointing the direction of travel. Okay, the blue circle denotes the desired area for pickup. So a SAP, if you can secure that front area, if you can cover that, if you can park outside that front area with the doorway there, okay, that would be beneficial, obviously, for us. Again, when you get there, just give us live feedbacks via text, okay, on what that's looking like. Okay, any questions on the pickup point?
So it's low profile, yeah?
Sorry, yeah,
Just
low profile. No questions on the pickup point, right? The drop-off point, okay, familiar to us all. We'll all be in the car park, but we haven't been into the pub yet. However, remember it's a one-way system. As Jake said, second entry in. Okay, as you come round, we're looking at parking up where the blue circle is again for the drop-off point. Okay, try and get it as parallel to the entry point to the Raby Arms as possible. Right, Raby Arms, as you can see from the airport there. Okay, it's got it's a 2-story building with extensions of 1 story out the back, and it's got a large, extensive beer garden. All that area is surrounded, you can see here, surrounded by housing. Access roads by car, you've got along the front street, which will loop back round on the Alpha 179. Okay, and we've got the 179 running along the bottom of the through the roundabout at Golf 22. So that's a drop off. At that point, obviously Sean, you make your way in first, right? And we'll follow you on. Once we get into the okay, that gets us to the that's obviously phase 1 complete. Sorry, that's phase 1 complete and getting us down to the Raby Arms. Any questions? Okay, phase 2. Phase 2 will be the actual meal within the restaurant. Sean, as discussed, you will go in first. What we've got to do, we haven't been in beforehand. Okay, so we've got to recce an area, right? Depending on where the principal wants to take a seat, we need to get a position of overview of the principal, toilets, and fire exits. If we can sit together, ideally we'll sit together. Everybody, I will be going. I'll take my earpiece out to keep it low profile, so I'll revert to Texas. If it is an emergency or if there's a requirement for an evacuation, then I'll put the earpiece back on. Okay, and when when we conduct the emergency exit or emergency evacuations. Okay, so low profile, myself and Sean, if we can get that together, great, we'll get that together. If not, be prepared to be split up. And then when we obviously just overwatch the principal. Duration, right? I'll try and get it out of the principal, subtly out of the principal. If not, when we get to the when the principal starts looking towards the end of his main meal, okay, if he's going to order a pudding or anything like that, again, I'll update it I'll just give regular updates throughout, and then stand people to as required. SAP team, just remain in the car park, okay, up until about out, because I want you to keep 15 to 20 minutes ahead. All right. So the route clearance is relatively new in case there's any delays. Once the meal is complete, okay, again, it's the same location. It will be the same location for the pickup. Same location for the pickup as the drop off in this area. When we're down there, SAP, if you can secure these parking bays here just to the left of the disabled spot, that would be ideal. If not, no worries. Obviously, the principal vehicle and the backing car, that's the area where we want to be picking the principal up in. Okay. Once the principal is secure, back in the car, right, then I'll move on to phase 3. Okay. Actions on, right? Actions on any emergency evacuations, incidents, alternative routes. I'll attempt to bring the principal firstly out the front door. If not, it'll be out the back door. As you can see from the air fort, right? There's actually no gate along that fence line. There's no gate along that fence line. So unless it's an absolutely dire emergency, right? Where there's a heightened threat. Right, I'll be taking the principal over the top of the gate, but that'll be an absolute last resort. Okay, any questions? Right, how far ahead do I want the SAP car ahead of us before we depart?
15 minutes.
Okay, happy deal. Right, once we get into phase 3, okay, this will be the road move from the Raby Arms down to the Teesside Retail Park. Right, Jake, can I go for
Yeah, so gents, turn the map 13, and we'll be going sequentially 13, 14, 15, down, i.e. north to south. Okay, so from Charlie 3, we're going to be exiting onto the roundabout, which is green 22, across to green 21, and then picking up the Alpha 19. The Alpha 19 then goes through green 21, orange 1, orange 7, orange 6, orange 21, orange 9, and then back to green 10, green 19, and green 7. And then from there, we arrive at this complex option here. Zach, again, I'll be calling you onto it, but essentially as we go over the flyover, as it starts to go through Stockton and Middlesbrough, it's not the first one, it's the second one. We're familiar with that, let's not get caught out by it. From there, it's onto the Alpha 66, and then it's the first exit off, and it's a series of a roundabout, and then another roundabout, and into Curry's, okay? We'll break the ground down for this location, but essentially, as we go back onto the Alpha 66, that's 12 o'clock. So Curry's will be at the 9 o'clock position from there.
Cheers, thanks, Jake. Okay, SAP, when you arrive, this area of the this area here, right, opposite, that's the where I'm pointing now on the laser. That is the entry point into Curry's. Okay, that's the assumed entry point that the principal will take. This area here is where I'm looking for the drop off. All right. Again, just report any congestion, any blockages of that road in the first instance. All right. Once we do a debus, Sean, you debus from the backing car as well. Okay, and if you can make your way forward across the zebra crossings first, and we will, myself and the principal will follow across. Just remain outside, okay, on this area here, okay, before we push in. Once we cross that point of no return, then that'll be phase 4. That'll be phase 4 complete. Any questions on phase 4 on the road move down? No change to any of the actions on, okay, in terms of breakdown stoppages. Phase 4, Right. Once we're dismounted from the vehicles, I will escort the principal into the retail centre. Obviously, it's been designated currently on the itinerary as Curry's. However, be prepared that he may want to go elsewhere. If that is the case, looking on the monitor now, look at the top right, this image here. What I'm going to do is just designate put the clock rear method. Everybody see the laser pointer?
Same.
Right, if that's the centre of the clock, this direction to the top roundabout, okay, that'll be 12 o'clock, yeah? This, where we're going to be dropping off, okay, is 9 o'clock, okay, going in the anti-clockwise direction. That, at the bottom of that run is the 6 o'clock, then 3 o'clock. Everybody happy with the clock rear method? So if you're given references, right, use that cross section there, okay, obviously in the clock rear method, okay. So be prepared for alternative orders for a pickup. Should the principal want an alternative area or visit an alternative venue within the retail park, right? Point in general and around the retail park, the only exits on vehicles are these 3 roads here, okay. There's no exits by road or foot, right? You've got a golf course around the back, and then you've got a hard Alpha 19 running down here, and you've got the River Tees, the old River Tees as well. Okay, so for foot and vehicles, it's only in the northwest direction for any exits. Okay then, right. Drop off already mentioned, right? For the pickup, right? SAP, can you see this area here? Right, I want you to get in and amongst there to see if you can secure a parking slot for the principal vehicle, which will give the principal vehicle that view of the pickup point outside Curry's exit, should there be no change to the itinerary. Okay, SAP happy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, just be aware, right, if you can look at these arrows, there's a series of one-way systems within the car park, right? Please don't get caught out by going down the one way. And this exit here is 2-way. However, it does go into both ways beyond that junction there where the laser marker is. Any questions? Low profile throughout. Okay. Once SAP, SAP. Once we're happy and your task's done, again on call to bound ahead for the next phase. All right.
Just a quick question, just to confirm. The drop-off point, you don't want the SAP there at all. You want the SAP essentially 3 rows along.
Yeah, you can hold. There's no need to hold that parking area. But if you do a drive-by recce, okay, and just confirm that it is it's not blocked off. There's no like roadworks, no alterations going onto it. Okay, as long as it's as it is on the airport, right? Then that's all I need confirmation for. Right. Once you've got the principal picked up, okay, that'll be phase 4 complete, and then moving on to phase 5. Any questions at phase 4?
No.
Okay. Right. We've got to be prepared, right, for what's the biggest issue that could change here.
Maybe we should go somewhere else.
Okay. Right. Phase 5 from Charlie 4 to Charlie 2, approximately 25 minutes, 16 mile. Do you want to quickly, that's the road move back up from Teesside Park to Castle Eden Inn. Do you want to quickly go through that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, gents, exactly the same, but instead of going south on the Alpha 19, we're going north. The only variation of that is when we get to green 5, we continue to green 1 and up to green 3. That's the flyover from the Alpha 19. Green 2 and then back south again. So what from that is that on Stockton Road, when we approach the Castle Eden Inn, we'll be orientated the wrong way. So once we've debussed the principal, we'll then turn around either in the car park or using the turning circle, which is essentially the housing estate there. I'll command that, but again, we'll be swinging back around to then go north on Stockton Road for the recovery phase.
Cheers, thank you. Okay then. Once we arrive at our destination, okay, same procedures for the same procedure for the drop off, okay, as it was for the pickup. Everybody clear?
Clear.
Yeah, happy days. However, right, we'll be pointing in the wrong direction. Right, all we're going to do is continue down, and you can just see the top end of the housing estate here behind the pub. We're going to continue down southwards, then we'll take the next left. And what we'll do, and we'll loop back round, coming back out at this exit here. Is that clear?
That's great.
Okay. Then before we move into phase, the recovery phase. So phase 5 will end once this principal is secure back inside the Eden Arms, or the Eden Inn, rather. Castle Eden Inn. Right. Recovery phase. That'll be back from C2 to C1. Admin route. Everybody happy with the admin route? We've done it plenty of times now. Yeah, we're around the corner. It's 15 minutes, 6 miles. Going back north up the. Just confirm, Jake. We're coming back north up to the A19.
Yeah, happy.
Yeah, happy. Right. Okay, we'll just move back as a single packet. Remember, on the route back, it's non-tactical. Okay, so just normal spacing. Don't have to do any defensive driving as such. Stick with the speed limit, stick as a packet, move back to get back here. Once we arrive back here, we're going to do an after action review. We'll record any suspicious activity that you've noted throughout the operation. Record any improvements that to the SOPs. So if there's some procedures that we've done that you think we can do better, please just note it down at the point or make a mental note of it. And when we get back here, we'll capture that to make our procedures better. Okay, if anybody's had any trips, falls, spills, accidents, right, broken anything, right, please report it. We need to get it recorded. Or that includes a near miss at any point. All right, we'll account for all equipment. We'll get the batteries charged. We'll last parade the vehicles before we stand down. Is that clear? Okay. Right. In summary, then. So we're going to do an admin move from here. Okay. SAP is going to deploy. SAP will deploy forward. Right. They will go to Charlie 2. Okay. On arrival, right, you're looking for to secure the pickup point of the principal. The backing car and the principal car will move forward. If we're early, we'll stop at LUP. We'll just stop short. Okay, I will call the principal, confirm ETA, confirm the itinerary. Once we push forward, okay, to the drop to the pickup point, SAP, then you push on and move off. I will conduct face to face with the principal and confirm the itinerary again, and just do introductions. Once the principal is secure in the car, we'll then move on to move into phase 1. Phase 1 ends right when we drop the principal off at the at Charlie 3. We'll go into the restaurant. We'll go in. Sean, you'll be pushing forward. I'll be taking the principal in. We'll go inside. We'll get a seating. We're looking for right to be able to observe the principal, observe the toilets, and observe any fire exits. Concurrent to that, if you've had a chance, you get in there first, gain any atmospherics. Have the meal. That'll be on the pickup. Will be on call. Same point as the drop-off point. Okay, for the principal car outside. Principal come back in. Once the principal is secure back in the car, that'll be us moving on to phase 2. All right. Phase 2 will then move down to the retail park. Okay, we'll try and get parked opposite every point of the Curry's Digital. Right, just behind the disabled bays. Once the principal is dropped off, with myself, Sean, leading across the zebra crossing. Okay, once we cross the line of no return, that'll be probably midway across the zebra crossing. All right, that'll be us going into the phase 3, which will be the shopping trip around Curry's. Be prepared for things to change and have an alternative pickup from planned, right, in case he wants to go to another retail park. All right. If there's no changes to that plan, the exit point for Curry's Digital, that's where we're looking at picking up. SAP, you try and secure a parking that overwatches that. Be aware of the one-way system going round there. I'm looking for an orthodox pickup. All right. We're in orthodox from there. All being well, orthodox pickup on call. We'll move off. Okay. Then that once we've got the principal secure in the car, that will be us moving on to the next phase. Okay. Then we'll move from 4, right, we'll move on to C4, back up to Charlie 2. Okay, that's all the way back to begin. Again, back up, predominantly same route down, but this time going northbound on the Alpha 19. All right. At any point on the road moves, right, if there's actions on, right, if there's a breakdown, accident, and the principal car becomes unworkable, right, I will take the backing car. I will get in to IC, we'll jump into the principal car, wait with a broken down car. We'll continue on. SAP, if you're ahead at any point, we'll then pick an RV point where we'll marry back up, and you will take the responsibilities, right, of the backing car. All right. At that point, Sean, you will, because you'll be now in the principal car, you'll be switched across into the SAP car. Okay. Right. Any questions? Okay. SAP. Right. At the how far ahead of you are you going to be moving of the main packet?
15 minutes.
Right, 15 20 minutes. What are you looking for? What are you going to be reporting back?
Any hazards?
Right.
On the route.
Reporting any delays. Okay. Once we're at the retail park, okay. What do you think's the biggest thing to change? Zach.
Probably the spots where you want to drop off, pick up locations.
Right, the pickup locations. That is unless if the principal changes his mind, right, be prepared, be flexible for that to change. Okay, when we move into the bar, right? Okay, when I move into the bar area, I want to get a position of the. I want to get a position, right, or a seat within the bar, the restaurants. What am I looking for? Give us one.
Toilets.
Overwatch of the toilets.
Overwatch of the toilets.
Another one.
Fire exits and other entry points.
Overwatch.
Toilets, fire exits, and for him to finish his food.
Right. Okay. Nice one. Overwatch of the principal.
Yeah.
So we can see him finish his food.
Yeah, so we can do.
All right. Timing straight after this, we're going to do obviously final kit preparations. Pick the radios that have been charging. Rehearsals will be en route down. Okay. So just start going through your voice procedure. Obviously, we've got to check in with 0 anyway. Okay, but just start doing the driving positions. Yes, we're on tack, but on the way down, right, get concurrent activity, get some rehearsals in. Right, no move before 16:30 hours, which is as of now. Right, I want to be expected time of departure 16:45 hours. Right, I want to be in the vicinity of the LUP. Right, or for C2 it's by 1700 hours, and I want to be picking them up right no later than 17:50, or good in a position to pick them up no later than 17:15. All timings thereafter, right, will be on call. Okay. Control measures. Everybody's now familiar with the control measures. Yes. Okay. Actions on. Right. As I'm driving down, principal car becomes US. Okay, or unserviceable. Right, stops working, for the want of a better word. All right. Okay. What is likely to happen? Which car will cover the principal car? Backing car. Okay. Who needs to be cross-decked, right, from the backing car, right? From the backing car when it becomes the principal car. Who needs to be cross-decked out of it?
I do. 2IC.
Okay, into the broken down car.
Correct.
Which other person, right, that would be in the car, which needs to get out the principal car? Yeah, nice one, Sean. Okay, service support. Everybody, as per the warning order, no change of the service support. Okay, the only point is on the medical, right? If we get a minor casualty, right, we'll triage the situation, and if we can crack on, we will crack on. If it's a major, right, okay, we will call 999. All right, everything will be called to a halt, right, and will be preservation of life will take priority, or preservation from further injury. Right, command and signals. Right, throughout the Charlie will be this location. 0 will be in this location throughout. Okay, and then make sure that 0 is aware of our routes between spots and our Charlie locations. Command and control. I'll be the PPO throughout. Jake, you are the Jake 2IC. Right, then it'll be Sean as the foot escort. Then SAP IC. Happy with the chain of command? Okay. Right, communications. primary communications will be radio. However, SAP, when you get out this a certain distance away, we'll have to switch to WhatsApp. The only other occasion, when will be the other occasion, I will switch to WhatsApp and I'll take my earpiece off.
In the Raby Arms.
In the radio arms, nice one. Okay. Right. No change to the code words. Only got the in terms of gold and being the principal. Right. Hand signals TTT. That's one of the things I will confirm with the principal if there's anything, any indications that he wants to, if he becomes uncomfortable or wants to move away. Right. Let's synchronise our watches. Okay, in 90 seconds, it will be 16:32. Okay, look through your notes. If there's any questions, please let us know.
So every D bus is going to be, D bus and M bus is going to be low profile, no high profile for the
Yeah.
entire. Yeah, happy.
Okay, in 60 seconds, it will be 16:32. All right, just thinking about when we're driving, if we get lost comms at any point, okay, if there's lost comms or we can't communicate, what's the immediate action?
Use mobile phones.
Yeah, if we can't get any communication through mobile phones, we hit the dead spots.
Send the runner.
No, if we're on foot, we can use runner, but if we're driving,
Go back to the previous Charlie location and rendezvous with the other call signs.
push on to the next destination, right? If we get comms and we get split call signs, just push on to the next destination, right? And then, okay, listen in. Oh, he's missed it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark 16:32. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Apologies for that, for being short. Anybody not get it?
Happy.
Right, okay. That concludes the orders. Let's get ready to move for 16:45 move.
Right, gents, good morning. Listening for a set of full executive protection orders for today, which is Monday the 29th of September 2025. Location and security of the O group then. Okay, so we're currently at Charlie 0, that's EDP. This is a secure location. The only other secure location that we're going to be working from today is Charlie 1, which is the old brewery. Aside from that, we can't assume that anything else is either safe or secure. For this operation then, I'm Jake, I'm the PPO, and my call sign is Juliet. 2IC is Danny F. He's the E, and his call sign is Yankee. Task organisation, which refers to the seating plan as well. SAP, you're Sean and Westy. The principal vehicle will be commanded by the PPO, me. The driver is Alan, call sign X-ray. And the backing vehicle, which is the Vauxhall insignia, is Danny F, who's the 2IC, call sign Yankee. The driver, Zulu, which is Zach. And dismounted packs, which is Ryan, who's Bravo. Call sign matrix, no change from what we've been operating have. As control will be 0 as per, and they will be mobile today. The principal's call sign is Gold. Do not raise Gold on the net. If you want to speak to Gold or you need anything from Gold, through me, call sign Juliet. Any questions on that? Prelims then, map falls for this operation will be 12, 13, 14 and 15. And I won't repeat the order there, but that's the order in which we'll be operating on sequentially. We've got no ATs and no debts, and the order of march will be the SAP, which will be ahead of the main body. The main body will consist of the Honda wagon, which is the principal vehicle, and the Vauxhall insignia, which will be the backing vehicle. It's no change to SOPs. Met, okay, we've got a sunny day, which will be 10 to 17 degrees. It's negligible wind and a 5% chance of 1 mil. It's highly unlikely that's going to impact on today's operation. However, to IC, if we could take an umbrella for gold, should we need that. Okay, looking into the principal then. The principal, Mr. McCarthy, whose call sign is gold. His company is the CEO, is the client. Okay, gold is 6 foot and 1 inches. He has no health issues and currently resides in the Bishop Auckland area. There is a concern for the client's welfare. That's the client's welfare, not safety. Okay, so we're here today to facilitate his smooth moving around the northeast, as he might want to do some shopping, visit an art gallery, and generally enjoy the wider area. Threat. The threat for this operation is assessed as low throughout. There is no specific threat towards gold or to the operation, and gold desires a low profile protection. This of course could be changed at any time, and obviously everyone needs to be alert to that to pass up any perceived threat through the 2IC and through me, so we can change that posture should it occur, but that will be reactive. Tasking then, there's a number of locations for today. 5 as you can see there. Charlie 0, which is this location, that's admin only for this. Charlie 1, the old brewery. Charlie 2 and Charlie 2 Bravo, very close to each other in Yarm. And Charlie 3, which is Dalton Park. Essentially, today we'll be moving from this location to Charlie 1, the old brewery, to M-Bus, the principal. We'll then move from there to Yarm, into the vicinity of Charlie 2, where we'll go for a Foxtrot phase. And we then may go to Charlie 2 Bravo, which is Nossa Cafe. From there then, we'll M-Bus and move to Charlie 3, which is Dalton Park. The route, the proposed route is at the bottom of the screen here, and you can see that there. However, I have put, be prepared to remain flexible. We're clearly at Gold's disposal, should he wish to go anywhere on a whim or reactively. Any questions on the broad area of that? I will of course go into detail. Right, 2IC for the ground, please.
Yeah, situation, ground, just in general, reference the release line, Mona Lisa. So this is literally for the safe havens, basically, that line is. If we've crossed from north to south, travelling down to Charlie 2, if we cross that phase line and we basically need to move forward to a safe haven, being one of the hospitals, which is Middlesbrough, and the other one being Peterlee. Depending on where we are, if we cross that phase line, depends where we will then go to if there's any sort of drama. Broad overview of the route we're going to take. So from here, we're going to have an admin route straight to Charlie 1, which is the old brewery. From the old brewery, we're going to travel down the A19, come off at the A66 and make our way straight down into Yarm, Charlie 2. Everybody happy with that? Yeah, quite straightforward. Once Gold has done whatever he's done in the vicinity of Charlie 2, we're going to then move from Charlie 2 up to Charlie 3, which is located up in Dalton Park. All right, so we're pretty much going to take the same sort of route. So we're going to come from Yarm, A66 up towards Middlesbrough, hit the A19, hang a left, head north, all the way up the A Alpha 19, straight up to Dalton Park. Everybody happy with them two routes, okay? If you have any dramas, and in fact, after this, when we go through rehearsals and that, we'll go through it more in detail, spots, so these are all clear, drivers, commanders, where you're going. Happy with that? As I said before, safe havens, anywhere, so regarding the phase lines, if we're in the north, we're going to use the Peterlee Community Hospital, which is 24 hours. I'll get the postcode and telephone numbers. We'll get that after. And same, if we hit the south, James Cook University Hospital, all right, which is just down and to the east of the A19. That's situated there. Everybody happy with that? Yeah. Police station then is in the west of the A19, located here. Everybody happy where that is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy days. Back to you, Jake.
Gents, report line Mona Lisa just divides the area of operations north and south. Essentially, it's just a quick reference as to which safe haven we're going to go to, okay? And I'll call that out when we're passing that, both north and south. Mission then, okay, to provide an executive protection for Gold for the duration of the task. I say again, to provide executive protection for Gold for the duration of the task. Any questions on that? Be prepared to react to changing demands and locations as requested by Gold. So this is highly likely to be a low profile operation, so low profile M-bus, D-bus, with the exception of the actions at Charlie 1, which is the old brewery. Is everyone content with the mission? Basically, gents, we're facilitating Gold's lifestyle today and moving around the AO. Execution then, this is a 6-phase operation. So phase 0, which we're currently in, it's orders, comms check, PACEX and rehearsals. So that we'll go straight into rehearsals after this and ensure the vehicles and ourselves are commed up, and we've got a PACEX. That's admin only. Okay, we're not going to be with Gold. Phase 1 then is a road move from Charlie 0 to Charlie 1, which will be from this location to the old brewery. From there, we will then receive Gold. So we'll be with Gold until the recovery phase. Phase 2 is the M-bus of Gold, and we'll move down from the old brewery to Yarm. Phase 3 is the Foxtrot phase, which will be with Charlie, which will be in the vicinity of Charlie 2, which is the Lucy Pitway Gallery, and that's going to be with Gold. We're then going to M-bus and do a road move from Yarm up to Dalton Park, Black 4 on your spot maps. Then we're going to D-bus and go Foxtrot again in the vicinity of Dalton Park. We're going to M-bus in there from Dalton Park, moving back to the safe location, which is Old Brewery, Charlie 1. And then we're going to go into the recovery phase, okay? I'm going to go into each one of these steps in detail. So phase 0, orders now, and then straight after this O group, we're going to go into rehearsals in the car park, where the 2IC is going to talk through the spot maps and we can confirm any questions that we've got there. I've imposed a no move before 0850 for the main body. However, as soon as I'm content with the 2IC's content with the comms check and the PACEX, I'm going to deploy the SAP forward so they can get eyes on and secure the route. Okay, so phase 1 then, it's the road move. Essentially, we're moving from this location to the old brewery, which is Charlie 1. It's likely that we'll hold up in an LUP while I speak directly with Gold by mobile telephone means, okay? And we're going to go in for a high profile M-bus at that point. So actions on, a lot of these actions on won't change throughout, so I'll brief them fully now and I'll update any pertinent points as we go through the phases. So minor casualty then, assess that, communicate that and triage them. Essentially, it's very much going to be a case of self-aid, buddy aid, and we're going to crack on within that. Please let the 2IC and myself know because we might need to cross-deck people and re-roll people on the move. A major casualty then is just through 999 through civilian means for that. Again, the 2ICs touched on which major hospitals we're going to use in the area for that, but again, it's going to be 999. We'll make the decision as to whether the ambulance comes to us or vice versa. Vehicle breakdown, stop, assess, and be prepared to cross-deck. Clearly, the security of the principal takes primacy at all times. And actions on, for this phase of the operation, it's AO North because we're north of report line Mona Lisa. Phase 2 then, that's going to be the road move. So this is when we've received Gold at the old brewery and we're going to follow Route Black down to the Lucy Pitway Gallery. Okay, so the SAP will have deployed in advance and they're going to secure those locations. I'm going to come on to the D-bus locations, which will obviously be pertinent for Alan as the primary vehicle driver. But essentially, the SAP will have gone ahead and we're going to go for a low profile D-bus. There's 2 options that we've got for that, and if they both are unavailable or we have a complete breakdown of comms, we're going to just park up and move him into the location because it's low profile within that. So again, that's the actions on there. Neither drop-off point being available, we'll park up in routine car parking spaces. So this is the area of Yarm in detail. Essentially, this is still Route Black. We'll come down the Alpha 67 to this location. You'll pass Nossa Cafe, which is Charlie 2 Bravo on your right, and come into the lying up drop-off point here, which is in the vicinity of the cenotaph. Okay. Immediately across the road to the west of there is the Lucy Pitway Gallery, which is Charlie 2. And that's the map with the SAP-FOT there. So essentially, this is the route that we're going to take. So I envisage the SAP securing this area here around the cenotaph, and the main body will come in, move to the left, and we'll D-bus in this location here. I've got a quick 20-second video of what that looks like from the driver's perspective. And as you can see there, it's a large turning circle, which should be empty of vehicle traffic and pedestrians. However, the SAP can soft secure that. And at that point there, we'll obviously debus the gold. Phase 3 then, that's going to be the Foxtrot phase. So what will happen there is myself and Rocky will debus. We will take gold from the vehicle and we'll move him across the pedestrian walkway to Charlie 2, which is the Lucy Pitway Gallery. From there then, the 2IC will take command of the vehicles and we'll put them into one of the 2 laying up points from there. SAP, at that point, I want you to flick to the area of Nossa Cafe and secure a car parking space outside of there, and we'll come on to why that's pertinent afterwards. So Rocky and myself will go into the gallery and we'll assess it, we'll prove that clear, and then we'll react to what's within that gallery, and essentially if we can afford to back off the principal, we can from that point. Okay. At this point then, this will be your opportunity to cycle through admin requirements, but I'd like the SAP to move on wrong. I would like you to use this time for admin, but essentially remain on 30 seconds notice to move. The SAP at this point, again, will be outside Nossa Cafe. Once we've moved from Lucy Pitway Gallery on foot, we'll let the SAP know that we're doing that, and essentially that will be the cue for the SAP to depart towards Dalton Park, which is Charlie 3, and that will allow the principal vehicle and backing vehicle to come and take those places. What that will allow for is when the principal's content and happy with his actions in Nossa, to get straight into an M bus right outside. So we've got that flexibility there. So again, if this completely breaks down, we've lost all comms, we're just going to go through the pace plan. So the primary is going to be UHF on channel 1, the alternate is going to be WhatsApp. If both of them fails and we fail to get comms, we're going to send runners and linkmen. That doesn't mean start running around the AO looking like lunatics. That means we're physically going to send a person forward. And then if it's a complete emergency, I'll just walk gold to the lighting up point. Okay, but I don't envisage it coming to that. Is there any questions on that phase of the operation? SAP, you content?
Yeah, you're happy with us taking the seat and then moving once we get...
Absolutely, thank you. So within Nossa, essentially once you've debussed us at that location, if you go take the seat at the 2 tables, we'll come on to that in a moment, where I've got some thoughts as to where we're going to do that. But essentially, if you hold those, and if I'm on comms with you as gold's approaching, you stand up and be prepared to vacate them to allow gold to have that smooth transition into the prime spots where we can have control of the situation. Thank you. Any other questions on that? Okay, so this is the Lucy Pitway Gallery. So top left, that's the area outside. These are obviously Google Map photos. And then this is the cenotaph, so the D-bus location here, and the main high street here. Okay, so this is Charlie 2 Bravo. So this is Nossa Cafe. Essentially, this is the one and only entrance exit. As we discussed, and thank you, Westy, for that. This table here, which is out of view, I'll bring it on the next photo. This is the table that we want to secure with the back to the wall for gold, and this table here for the PPO itself. And that's it, looking pretty much from this aspect down into the Charlie there with the toilets at the back. This is a better photograph. So the one where the gentleman is there, that is the table that we want to secure for the principal. The one immediately to his right will be where the PPO sits. And ideally, if we can, Rocky will have a chat offline about how we can do this, but essentially if you secure one of these other tables here, just so we've got the flexibility and option to give the principal that privacy should he need, if he wants to make calls, but we've still got control of the entrance, exit, the toilets, and eyes on the venue.
Yep.
Okay. SAP, you're pretty crucial to that role, so you content with that? Mm-hmm. Happy. Phase 4 then, this will be the M bus from Nossa Cafe and the move to Dalton Park, Charlie 3, which on your spot maps again is Black 4. So the SAP will have been released before that, and hopefully the principal vehicle and the backing vehicle will be immediately outside. What we're going to do is we're going to basically take the same route back, so the Alpha 67 onto the Alpha 66 and the Alpha 19 North. It's about a 35 minute road move north to that. So I'll call it out the changeover from south to north on report line Mona Lisa, and there are multiple alternative routes and routes crossover within that, but we'll go into that into the rehearsals when the 2IC talks to the spot map within that. I'll show you what that looks like on the ground. So and phase 5 will be the D bus within that location. I'll talk you through this in detail. So what you have here is the Alpha 19 running effectively north-south, and then you've got Black 4 here, which is where we'll exit and take the option down to here. Essentially, Dalton Park is a crescent-shaped shopping centre, and this will be phase 4, the move, and phase 5 for the Foxtrot phase here. The drop-off point is in the west, and I've called that entrance exit 1. Okay. For what that looks like on the ground is there's a KFC. So essentially, you'll take the route in, multiple options, and drive to the drop-off point. SAP, if you can secure a location there for the main body, and we'll do it again. We'll do a soft or low-profile D-bus there. Rocky and I will then take the principal from there, and the 2IC will take control of the 2 vehicles. Essentially, I want you to hold up within where it says pickup point 0, which gives us the options from exit point 2 and exit point 3 to flick around. I'm unsure of Gold's intentions at this point, but I'll clarify that with him when we have the preliminary phone call. But essentially, I would imagine him taking shopping route up to here. He may wish to exit at point 2 or point 3. These won't change, but if you can position both vehicles at pickup point central there, if indeed he does want to go to 3, it's going to be a quick flick down there where you can pick him up. Again, it's going to be a soft M-bus from there. Okay. Any questions on any of that? SAP again, so your role within this is to hold that location there so we can do a soft M-bus when we arrive, and then support either one of these locations to allow 2IC to collect them. Okay, so just 1, 2 and 3, that's all I'll call it. I'll be on routine comms throughout. Again, if UHF fails, I'll move to WhatsApp. And again, that's just to ground it in a little bit more detail, but there's no change. Is everyone happy with that? It's just 3 entrances and exits. Okay, once that's done then, phase 6 will be the M-bus at Charlie 3, which is Dalton Park, to the old brewery with Gold. So once Gold's indicated that he wants to leave, again, we'll go through either 1, 2 or 3 from Dalton Park, and we'll take the Alpha 19 south. And then once Gold, we'll move back to Charlie 1, the old brewery, and we'll do a high-profile D-bus there. We'll quick back brief with Gold, make sure he's content for the day, and then that's us with Gold secure, and then we can move back to the final phase, which is the recovery phase, which is that move from Dalton Park to Charlie 0, which is this location. The mission isn't over there then, gents. Clearly, we're going to remain switched on, and we're going to go into an admin phase there. So it's the final parade of the vehicles, ready for any subsequent tasking. We're going to update any threat reports and complete any accident or injury forms. And then the radio's on charge, poised for secondary operations this afternoon. Coordinating instructions then, timings, rehearsals immediately after this. We've got the no move before, which we're encroaching on anyway, and we're likely to step off at 09:10. However, we might slip that just given timings this morning. We're likely to collect goal at 09:30. And then from there, we're basically on phases because we're at goals discretion as to when we do that. Meals then, you've got your admin opportunity under the 2IC to eat outside the vehicles at in Yarm and at Dalton Park in order to achieve that. But again, remaining conscious of that 30 seconds notice to move. So support 2IC, please.
Service support, right gents, all call signs then. So all vehicle drivers after this will go down, make sure every single vehicle has got fully capable med packs. All use are med trained, so we're all squared away there. Med packs, we'll make sure we've got the right relevant med packs in each vehicle. All vehicles should be fueled, all right, but we'll double check them when we go downstairs. If they're not, we'll then get them away and get them fueled. Breakdown kit, once you've first sprayed your vehicle this morning, we're using the TPG, tyre pressure gauge. Make sure every vehicle, or each vehicle that we're taking, has got a tyre inflator or at least one between the pair. Spare tyres and jumper cables. Everybody content with that? Too easy. Happy days.
Thank you. Commander signal then. Command is with me, call sign Juliet throughout, and the succession of command for that is Danny F, call sign Yankee, and then subsequently Alan, who's call sign X-ray. Signal, it's UHF as the primary means, channel 1, and that's a covert fit for all. Please make sure your radios are turned off when you're in the vehicles in order to prevent that feedback loop. Alternative is WhatsApp with an admin group which is established. It's likely that SAP, that will become your primary means when you're not travelling with the main body. Contingency, it's face-to-face through ERVs, and we'll just dismount and have that conversation face-to-face if we've got a complete loss of comms. And then emergency is through 999, but the only time I foresee that is with a threat to life. Call sign and report lines. Okay, the principal is gold for this. Again, do not try to raise gold on the net. He's not net enabled. If you need anything for gold, it's through me, call sign Juliet, and report line Mona Lisa, which someone, Rocky, what does report line Mona Lisa demarcate? What's the purpose of it?
It's north and south.
Got it, mate. Thank you. Signals from gold to be discussed. I'll have that conversation face to face with gold. Summary then, gents. Okay, let's talk about the main body of the operation. Essentially, there's three moving parts to this. We're going to go from the old brewery to Yarm. That's Charlie 1 to Charlie 2. Okay. From there, SAP will have secured a car parking space. We're going to do a soft D-bus there. Rocky and I are going to take him to the Lucy Pitway Gallery. From there, the SAP will move to Nossa Cafe, and they'll secure a car parking space outside. Once they've got the car parking space, they'll go into Nossa, and they'll have the tables that we've discussed there as best we can. Okay. Gold will then move from Lucy Pitway to the Nossa Cafe. The SAP will then vacate the two tables, and we'll put him down there. He's going to have a brew. He's going to have some food. He might meet some people. We don't know. Okay. From there, then, once the SAP have left the table, they're going to move out of the car parking space to allow the principal vehicle and the backing vehicle to take that location outside. SAP then deploy to Dalton Park. Once Gold's happy then in this area, we'll then M-bus and move to Dalton Park. Okay, SAP, you'll have secured a location there for them for Gold and the main body to D-bus. He's going to go for a walk around, and 2IC, you're going to hold the vehicles in the central location at exit point 2 on the map. Once Gold's happy there, with that we're going to M-bus and we're going to move back to the old brewery. Okay, it's relatively straightforward, but clearly there are a number of points that could go wrong, and therefore what I ask for is your discipline, for you to remain switched on and for you to remain flexible, because clearly any curveball can throw us off, but we're all trained, we're all content with the area of operations, and we will obviously provide a professional service for Gold. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Because I've got some for you. Cool. So what is the principal's call sign, Alan?
Gold.
He is Gold. Good. We've got a report line, Mona Lisa. Rocky, give us it again. What does that demarcate on the map?
It's separating the north and the south of where we're travelling.
Happy days. 2IC, what's your call sign?
Yankee.
Thank you. Okay. The time is now 0908. I will call down in 1 minute 15 seconds for 0910. I'm happy with that. Okay, so after we've called that time down, straight to the car park for quick rehearsals. We'll do the final comms check, and then we'll get mobile from there. Okay, that's the 1 minute countdown to 0910. Forty seconds. 30 seconds. 20 seconds. Okay, in 10 seconds the time will be 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark 1, 2, 3. Cool. Everyone happy? Great stuff. 2IC, can you take the team outside and we'll go into rehearsals?